Hey there, beer tubers. Welcome back to Beer Analysis 101 with your
Nick,
host,
you just
Matt
nailed
Goldstar.
that intro.
I was nailing that
Perfect.
intro just like I put a nail through my bike tire tonight. Anyway, we're going to do Hazy State from Collective Arts. Double-Dry Hopped Session IPA. But first, we're going to take a look at who we have with us, which is, amazingly enough, starting off with Gorg.
Hi, Nick. Are we doing this beer tonight? Because that's what I'm drinking.
No, we are doing an IPA.
Oh, okay.
We already did brutalism, so
Brum brum goes the motorcycle.
You can bring out the real tonight's beer.
I have the real tonight's beer, which it's got a fist on it.
Yeah, you got fisted.
That's what's the flag up above the fist?
It says Amplified Voices series. I guess maybe this is something that has to do with Black Lives Matter. I'm not sure, but
that would make sense.
Certainly looks like it, right?
Wow. Was that a hope? Wow.
Could be like all minorities kind of thing, like persecuted minorities or something.
That artwork is wow.
I'm gonna say this artwork is it's a little bit stereotypical, much like a lot of those really old Disney cartoons. I'm just throwing it out there. It is kind of perhaps
they captured some really nice emotion though in that face. I feel like they actually captured nice emotion in that face though. Like that's actually pretty well done.
Yeah. Just to add, it says Collective Arts actually has a page on their website. You know what? I'm gonna share this just because we're talking about it right now. Share screen. Talking about Amplified Voices, a global call to action. Our Amplified Voices series is dedicated to art dealing with issues of social justice. We're aiming to provoke challenging topics and create space for groups who are often left in the margins. Making beer has given us a platform, and we understand that this is a privilege most don't get to enjoy. There is an undeniable global call to action to fight injustice, particularly anti-Black violence and inequality faced by BIPOC around the world. We intend to use our platform to amplify the voices and need to be heard and to drive change. We believe in the power of creativity and community. Our Amplified Voices series is conceived under our core belief that creativity can help make the world a better place, and we are sincerely grateful to all the artists that have shared the creativity with us. And I wonder if do they actually have anything about like the artwork that was provided to these cans? And there's one, and that's a cool artwork. Wow. I like that. Well, I mean,
I feel like if you keep scrolling, you should come across the one Greg has. I imagine. Look at that one. That's weird. That one's weird.
That is neat. The process, the
like
hands. That is cool. And curators.
Well, maybe not.
Oh, doesn't it?
No.
Doesn't have all of them, so I don't see Greg's there.
No,
I don't see the one I've got there. I've got one that's got looks like indigenous folk on the front of the can.
I would assume this. Maybe I'm assuming something I shouldn't, but I would assume something like this is probably done by a Black artist, and something like the Inuit one is done by a Native artist. I would assume.
I feel sad. My can art isn't from that series.
No. Okay.
I'm gonna take a look. I'm gonna let Radar talk here. Hi, Radar. How you doing tonight?
I'm not entirely convinced Radar's still alive.
No, he's not frozen. He's doing a good job pretending.
He's doing a good job.
I'm doing very fine. No, I'm just doing pretty good. Just a little red in the face because yesterday and today was really sunny outside, and I work outside at the time.
Oh, yeah.
So,
At least wear sunscreen.
You put sunscreen on your head?
Maybe I should.
Yeah. Skin cancer's a thing, dude.
I know.
It is.
Well, look at this whiteness. Oh no, wait, whiteness.
Play that funky music.
Like white boy.
You gotta take your shirt off more often.
That's what people want to see when they go to the Volkswagen dealership. They're watching the cars.
You want to sell some cars.
Yeah. Is this where I say if I had a history with
No, not yet.
That's just what you want to come out like, hey, where's my Volkswagen racing car? Oh, there's Radar sitting on my leather seat, nothing but a man thong.
Okay, so speaking of which, let's go over to
God damn right, I'm wearing a man thong. My art is by
anything at all underneath that kilt.
My art's by Humble Raja out of Toronto, Ontario.
I didn't show you mine.
Yeah.
Kind of neat.
Yeah, let's bring Radar back up and just for a second and show your can. What do you got? Yeah, interesting.
It's let's see, it's from Andrea Vela Alarcon, Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
All right. Cool. All right, let's go back to Carrie and say you're doing okay tonight.
I'm all right, man. How you doing?
I'm not doing too bad.
Good.
All right, so bringing it up to me. Where's my can art from? I showed the art already. It looks pretty cool. Where's mine say it's from? Adina Fernango, Lenape territory, Amplified Voices series. Okay. There's probably more information on online about it. But let's get down to the history of this beer, which, we've done Collective Arts countless times. I imagine most people already know the spiel. It's, after all, the 11th beer that we've looked at from Collective Arts, so we don't really need to go super into detail, other than to say the Collective Arts was founded in 2013 by Matt Johnson and Bob Russell. Johnson and Russell, along with brewmaster Brian Morrow, began brewing on contract space at Nickelbrook in Burlington. Collective Arts and Nickelbrook opened up a joint brewery, and then a year later in Hamilton, they opened up a joint brewery at the former Lakeport Brewery in Hamilton, which is huge, although they have a really small tap room. Collective Arts bought out Nickelbrook's shares a year later, and now they operate that as their main brewery. I've had a chance to go there twice. Once the Redbeard, and Redbeard really wasn't impressed. They operate it though as their main production brewery, and they have nationwide production and into the U.S. And I think even like Craig in the UK can get Collective Arts beers over there, which is pretty crazy. Hazy State, on the other hand, originally came out in April of 2019. Is a 4.1% ABV session IPA that's double dry hopped with 16 grams per liter of Amarillo, Citra, Mosaic, and Centennial hops.
Amarillo by morning.
And just for reference, my can is canned on May 31st, 2021.
July 9th.
Me too.
Wow.
Nice.
July 9th.
Yeah, come on,
I
man.
got sitting on like a 2-month-old IPA. Gotta love the ENBL. All right, so let's go over to Gorg for a second and say, Gorg,
June 29th.
what's your history with this beer?
I know I've had it before. I haven't bothered to look up my Untapped. I know I've had it before. I know I've drank stuff from Collective Arts before. At least 11 beers, according to Nick. And that's all I really have to say. I don't think I've had this more than once. It's a session IPA, so it's not generally something I'm going to drink other than maybe to try it and because Nick tells me I have to, but otherwise not something I generally go to the store and buy.
Yeah, that's one way to point it out. Like how many Collective Arts beers have you had? We've been doing Beer Analysis 101 now longer than even IPA number 5 was around. That's how scary long we've been doing this shit.
Yeah, and
I mean,
You say scary. I say wonderfully.
okay.
well, it's a good time had by all. We've gone through a lot of beers. We just need more beers.
That's true. We need more beers to do, and lately it's kind of slim pickings over at the liquor store to find new stuff to do.
We just got to get a beer mail out. The thing is, most of us are fine in Ontario. We just got to get a beer mail out to you, and you'll be good for like another 2 months.
Two of my LCBOs here just randomly got in a bunch of new beers. It's pretty cool.
There is a couple of more Collective Arts beers in stock at my liquor store. I can take a look and see what's there. I think Matter of Fact is there. Anyway,
Well, you should figure out a few beers that you might want because somebody that's currently on screen was talking about potentially sending you a green labeled beer and maybe get some other beers included with that.
That green label beer, right?
specifically green label beer that we will not talk about. Anyway, let's go over to you gave your history Collective Arts, Sir Greg. So let's go over to Radar. Hi, Radar.
Yes, Collective Arts, of course, I've had a few of them. I don't even remember exactly which ones, except for like say number 12, 11, 13. I did have 17, not with you guys, but I did later on 16. And what was the one I had with Redbeard there? That was, I think, my favorite one still so far.
That was
What number was that?
13 or 14, maybe, I think.
Yeah.
Can't remember.
But anyways, I did. And now that I checked Mr. Guy Lachance's YouTube channel, I had number 2, actually. May 1st, 2017. and I gave it a 7.3 back then. Other than that, me and Dewey had Collective Art State of Mind, which I remember giving a good review. Let's see here. IPA. I have had Life in the Clouds. I thought that was pretty good. I have had Hazy State before, and I liked it, but it's been a while now, so we'll see. Stranger Than Fiction. I had that one. And of course, Ransack Your Universe was my go-to beer when I went to the bar in Ottawa. The bar that unfortunately closed down. And I think that's it. So yeah, a history in the last 3 years, at least 4 years, with Collective Arts. And I think it's a solid company. I liked it. Generally, they do pretty good. And so yeah, I think it's one of my favorite companies in Ontario.
Nice. Audio visual logger. That's another one. All right. Let's go over to Redbeard. Redbeard, I know you like Collective Arts.
Nah.
Yeah, I have had
He loves their tap room.
probably at least 30 different beers by them, probably more. Yeah, I love the brewery. It's amazing. It's a thing to behold if you're ever in the Hamilton area. It is so huge, but for the size of it, the tap room is just this tiny little space with no room or anything. I'm incredibly underwhelmed, but they make great beer, so let it slide. This particular beer, reviewed it back when just after it came out, I believe. Had it a few times since then, but just like Greg had said, it's only 4.1%. And generally, when I go for an IPA, I go for something just a straight up IPA, usually in the 6 to 7%. Usually has, more of that good flavor bomb thing going off. Lighter IPAs tend to be more muted a little bit, but yeah, didn't hate this one, and currently not hating it. So good stuff.
Right on.
Yeah, it was 13. That was at where I was inadvertently summoned to North Bay last year.
Oh yeah.
All right. So moving on to me and my history with Collective Arts. I mean, I could get into detail about how many of the different IPA series I've had. I know I've had 1, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 14, 15, 16, and 17. We've done beer analysis on them like 5 different ones. I think I'm just guessing. I have had this one, Hazy State, before. Back when it first came out, it was at the Albino Rhino Beer Fest in 2019. It was one of the first, like right after it came out. It was available at that beer festival, and it just recently just showed up here in New Brunswick for the first time since first launched, which is yay. Yeah, I generally like Collective Arts. As I said, I've been to the brewery twice. I've liked both times that I was there. I was a little bit happier with my visit to Collective Arts than Redbeard was that second time, and one of the main reasons is because I love that freaking room with all the cans. Like
I still have fun.
Colorful. Yeah, you go in there and they get this whole room full of like all of the different can artworks they've had. And I'd hate to see like how big it's now, or they probably don't have enough room for all of them now, just because they've had the same. They do great things with sponsoring like local art, even around artists around the world, indie artists around the world.
I will concede that room is pretty cool.
That was the best part of the visit there. Otherwise, it's just like
I've never visited
a nice little tap room with not enough seating.
Yeah,
and I'm sure it's even better now after COVID.
Well, yeah, I wonder how they made it with COVID, because they only had room for like maybe two bubbles. Alrighty, who wants to read comments tonight?
Sure.
Doesn't matter.
Radar?
Sure.
Or okay. Let's put.
We got a super ungrumpy Lee Russell in the chat tonight.
Being grumpy.
That's like his he was born grumpy, I think. Anyways, Lee Russell says, "Speaking of man thong, there's Redbeard," says Nick. Gross, Nick. Gross.
Oh, geez, Nick, that's a really gross.
And then Redbeard said, "But so comfortable." And then Lee Russell said, "Greg's last night, 11 beers in one night." And then
I'm sure there's been nights I have.
And then Jamie, Jeff. Hello, everyone. Hello there, Jeff. And then Lee Russell said, Hear that? Here's taking donations, generous thousandaires.
I gotta point out that is not the right spelling of here. Sorry.
They said corrective farts is so overrated now. Just fancy art and a bunch of shitty Haze Road crud. Wow.
They make some solid products, but yeah, he's not wrong about that necessarily.
And
They
then
do
the
make a
also
lot of
said
Hazes.
pineapple poop juice.
They actually make like some. They don't do a lot of them, but their barrel aged porters and stouts they make are fucking phenomenal.
I haven't had a chance to try one of those yet. Like the Imperial Porter they made. I would love to try
The
that.
problem is that they make decent ones, but they're so expensive because they include some stupid piece of artwork in them that I don't give a fuck about. You know, you could sell me this
Yeah,
beer
there's
for
that.
like $5 or $6 less if you didn't include the stupid tube and the stupid artwork. And I mean, yeah, and I've had some good barrel aged beers from them. I've had some bad barrel aged beers from them. I forget which one it was that I think we actually did it on the show that wasn't that good.
Oh yeah.
Still like a $15, $16 bottle.
I feel like they should have like just the bottle available, and then also the way they do it now as like the gift pack edition or something.
Yeah, give me a gift
Yeah,
pack.
don't make it stupid.
Make an exclusive gift pack from the brewery or something. Like,
Yeah, like don't force your customers to spend this money on something that 90% of them really don't even want.
they're gonna throw in the trash. Or
Yeah,
throw-
like I bought 3 or 4 of those Imperial Porters with those things, and I think I might have one of them that I had like kept for my collection of cans and stuff, which is all buried in a box somewhere right now. My storage unit is getting moved tomorrow. Kind of excited.
Oh, you can get your bike out of there.
No, my bike's already here. I just like I can hunt down my key that I need for my bike.
Can't you just get some like?
Should be able to
bike
get something
cutters
to
and
break
just
it up,
chop-
break it off.
No, it's designed so you can't do that.
I believe in you, Carrie. I know you can find a way.
I don't want to. I like the thing I got on my bike. I just need to find the key.
Anyway,
Yeah.
is that a Nick?
Yeah.
Hey,
Shut
Radar.
up, Nick. Is it Radar's birthday today?
No,
No.
it was Redbeard's yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know, but that's old news.
Radar's is around the same weekend that
Well, I was
gonna say,
Beer
I
Fest
don't know.
usually is.
Actually, last night when I was sitting in Discord, I thought I had set the channel to only me because I was testing out my new camera driver, and Radar suddenly popped in out of nowhere and sang me happy birthday. It was kind of random and fun.
Oh, that was kind of fun.
Yeah, I sang happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday
Day
to
to you.
And actually, my sister sent me a clip of my niece singing happy birthday to me.
Aw.
That is the creepiest goddamn thing I've ever heard in my life.
Jesus.
She sounds like a child with a corn or
Like
something when she's
Brock-
singing.
like
It's just disturbing.
Chucky is singing.
Oh,
And we're live. We're live.
Nick, it's actually kind of unfortunate we're doing Hazy State. We should have done BYOB beers in honor of Carrie.
Redbeard beers, which would still be hazies. So I mean,
Beer-
Imperial stouts. You know, those are kind of my.
I would bring a Molson Canadian just for shits and giggles.
Nice.
oh god, just make it hazy.
Listen,
Double-Dry Hopped
Listen,
Canadian.
if we ever do a Carrie special, you know there'll be cuvées.
Cuvée with Molson Canadian.
I did mix that one stout with chocolate milk that one time, and it was surprisingly good. Wasn't quite as insane as Greg with the chalet sauce, but you know
Gross.
Wow. I'm a pioneer when it
that would there's a theme night. BYOB crazy cuvées.
Cuvée?
Just a
Or,
beer and something that's not a beer that you think might go well together, and we try it. That could be fun.
Let's literally do one where we all get Swiss chalet sauce and mix it with beer. Lately, will love that.
Should do
I honestly
that.
don't like chalet sauce.
What?
I'm not a fan.
What?
I've never tried
with
that.
it. I don't
The-
love it. I don't dislike it. It's to me, it's fine. I usually dip the buns in it if they're fresh. If they're
The
not
Harvey's side, I haven't tried it, but they have something called Harv Sauce, which apparently is on their new burger called the Big Harv, which is it's like Big Mac, but it doesn't have the middle bun. It's 2 patties with 2 cheeses, and it looks okay, but Harvey's hamburgers are not the best. I don't know.
way back.
Harvey
way
makes a
back in the
hamburger
day
a
when-
beautiful thing.
Way back in the
They
day
do
when
top
we
it
used to have a cottage in an area that was not very populated, so it was a relatively small town, and they had a Swiss Chalet Harveys that were literally mixed together because they couldn't support either one of them. So they are together, and you could literally order anything you want from both menus.
Yeah, that's how the one here is.
Oh, okay. So you'd get like a Swiss Chalet. You could get a Swiss Chalet meal, but it's like instead of Swiss Chalet fries, you'd get Harvey's onion rings. So like, yeah, that's awesome.
The hilarious thing is the menus are right next to each other, and like Harvey's burger and fry combo is like $2 less than Swiss Chalet's, and like I'm assuming that probably a different patty or something, but like I can't see it being that different. And then Swiss Chalet has this new spicy chicken, this new crispy chicken burger that if you want to add sauce to make it spicy, it's an extra $1.
Yes,
on the Harvey side, they top it how you want with whatever you want. It makes no sense to me.
I had that last week. I ordered the regular one. I'm like, why am I paying an extra $1 for hot sauce? That makes no sense.
Yeah,
it's an okay chicken sandwich. It's nothing to write home about.
Which one's this?
Fine.
I'm excited for the Popeyes to open up here. I've never tried their chicken sandwich.
I never have either, and there are Popeyes.
You all really should be trying the Mary Brown's spicy.
If there was one here, I've heard nothing but good things.
That's like one of the best spicy chicken sandwiches you can get.
I've heard they make good food.
Yeah, they do. Great. The chicken's better than KFC. And then you know what? Even Lee Russell's probably going to have to agree that Mary Brown's is better than just about any chicken place out there. Except for maybe Swiss Chalet.
There's one not too far.
I haven't tried. I don't know if there's any places here in town that do like local places that do their own fresh. Like my whole thing is I don't like the frozen crappy quality chicken patties most places use. For me, it's like take an actual chicken breast, get some flour, punch the crap out of it to make it kind of nice and sandwich sized, and then deep fry that with maybe some buttermilk before you bread it, and then. Yeah,
it's buttermilk, but Mary Brown's is more like an actual breaded chicken fillet.
Well, Lee Russell agreed. Way better than KFC.
And yeah, like Lee Russell says, Mary Brown's is pretty spicy for fast food. Yeah, I love the spicy Big Mary with the extra spicy mayo.
Yeah, there's one not too far from my mom's house. I'm gonna have to go check it out. Nice. I actually never had the Popeyes chicken sandwich either, so I
had Popeyes when I was visiting Chris Lezak on 2018. It really was it was good, but I wasn't crazy for it. Like it's not like I would go back and get it. It wasn't anything special.
I mean, it doesn't exist.
Like compared to Mary Brown's,
it doesn't exist in most places in Canada. In fact, I think there's one location in Toronto. But Chick-fil-A, excellent chicken sandwich. It's cheap too, which is nice. But
screw that company, but yeah, I'd like to try the sandwich.
Yeah, screw that company.
I know everyone hates the company, but they make a good chicken sandwich, so whatever.
To take to Mary Brown's, I assume I'd probably have to go to at least Barrie, if not all the way to Toronto, probably. I doubt Sudbury would have one.
There's not one at Sudbury?
I doubt it. Possibly, but I have no idea.
Checking out Mary Brown's.
Radar, read some comments.
Wait, what?
Yeah, right. Dragon's Middle Style Tickle Murray, which is what's his face there? Ewart. Rest in peace, Ashley. Fuck you, Lee. Lee Russell said, "Why I didn't kill him." And Tickle Murray says, "Pineapples are nature's candy. Orange candy is."
I mean, pineapples do go amazing on pizza. I mean, that's definitely something Lee and I can agree on.
And then beer in a bozo. Who is beer in a bozo? Said, "Why is Radar's camera always in the Monica Lewinsky view?"
Oh, I think Beer and a Bozo, isn't that Violent by Design?
No, it's a guy that lives in here in North Bay.
Who's Violent by Design?
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, no. Violent by Design's got a different, he's got like a beer review channel name now.
I know Night Abyss 2017 is having the Dragon's Milk.
So we got.
And then Lee.
Is good.
And then Lee Russell says, "Nature deserves to lose a foot." Then. Lee Russell said that Mary Brown's is pretty spicy for fast food, way better than Gifika. Radar likes to look down on people in judgment. Yeah, we all have judgment. So the races that make
I mean, it does. Well, the thing is, when it opened,
they're not racist. Aren't they against aren't they anti-gay?
Yeah, I think it was they're anti-gay because they're like really Christian run.
I guess they're racist against those people then.
Bible pusher. But the thing is, when it opened in Toronto, it was a shit show because you had Toronto foodies. Anytime a new restaurant opens, everyone has to fucking line up for 3 kilometers in Toronto to try it. And there was, of course, the gay protesters as well. And they did a lie down to try to block the entrance. So the foodies were literally walking over the gay protesters to get in to get their chicken sandwiches. I'm like, this is Toronto for you. It's a fucking shit show.
There is
That's
a
fine.
Mary Brown's in Sudbury.
Seriously.
There you
You
go.
and
Go
Lady
visit
Lee are gonna have to go.
Big
But
Nick.
especially, in October, and hopefully this isn't a spoiler. When you
Have
come
they
down here
destroyed
in
the
October,
smokestack yet?
when you come down here in October, Redbeard, you're gonna have to try. You might have to try it then
If I haven't by now, I need to get
If
to
you haven't by
Sudbury
then.
because there are a couple breweries in Sudbury that I haven't had their beers in a while, and I would like to try them. So
All right. So Mr. Lee would complain about us not being streamlined and getting way off topic here. But we enjoyed it because we just basically want to sit here, shoot shit, and drink this beer, and then come back with what our final thoughts are. Are we ready to give some final thoughts?
I think so. I am.
All right.
Greg?
Greg,
Well,
you ready?
Yep.
Sure, why not?
All right. What do you think?
It's fine. When they say
That sums it up.
when they say session IPA, to me this is a little bit on the high end of session IPA because so many of these places now come out with like 2-3% session IPAs. To me this is kind of like sort of on the low end of pale ale where it's like it's still pretty full flavored, and I mean I got no problem with this. It's a fine beer. It's also nothing really all that exciting either. I don't know. The can art's nice, but I don't know. I don't really care about can art because this is going in recycling. So sorry for the artist that spent a lot of time making this, but it's going to get melted down in a few days. It's fine. Like there's nothing really that excites me all about It's a hazy. It's got definitely grapefruity. I don't know. To me, it's perfectly fine. It's not offensive. I just don't get excited by drinking it. I'm going to say it's a session IPA. I've definitely had better, definitely had worse. It's going to be a 7 for me. And personal enjoyment, it's also going to be a 7. Like I don't really want to go any lower because it's a fine beer. But personal enjoyment, I don't know. 7, I'm probably being generous, but let's just go 7. 7 across the board. I don't want to talk about this beer anymore. Goodbye.
All right. Redlar.
I like it. I mean, sure, if it's just a session IPA, and it's only for a beer that's for an IPA that's only 4.1, it still preserves some of that fruitiness taste. And smell, maybe not as strong as I would like 6, 7, up to 11%. So basically, I think it's a good one to to get to someone who's entering the logic of craft brewery and getting out of the illogicity of craft beer, every Main Street beers. So yeah, I think it could be a good intro craft beer.
Gateway beer.
Yeah, gateway, like the arch gateway. Anyways, see, I'm giving this a good 7.5 style, 7.9 overall. I still like it. I like this one. I love the taste, even though it's just 4.1. It still preserves most of the fruitiness. I think. Yeah. So yep.
All right. Let me write that down. What was the ratings again?
7.5, 7.9.
One person only.
7.5, 7.9.
7.5, 7.9.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's go over to Redbeard.
I got a mix of Greg's feelings and Radar's feelings, I guess. It's fine, but it's pretty tasty for a session IPA. It's a session IPA, so if it was bursting with some kind of juicy flavor or some shit, I would be blown away and probably actually impressed. But it's a well done kind of bargain basement average hazy session IPA. It's not anything amazing. It's tasty though. So I'm going to go 7.5 across the board, just a bit higher than Greg.
There we go.
And yeah, it goes down pretty easy.
Definitely goes down easy, just like Nick likes them.
Yeah, right. I think I'm actually going to do this tonight. But all right, my thoughts on this beer. If you're comparing this, you're going to call this a session IPA. I got to say that as far as session IPAs go, I usually don't like them. and there is a certain quality of this here that it's a little. It doesn't have a huge malt backbone to back it up. It doesn't really have a lot to back up the amount of hops it has in there, and it doesn't really have. I just find that it's a little on the green side, and like even though it's a few months old, it's still got a bit of a hop burn to it, and it's just because it's a little unbalanced in the sense that, like, as far as the session IPA goes, I really like it as a session IPA because it's still pretty tasty, even though it doesn't come across as juicy. It's still got a little bit of onion to it, like that white onion kind of burn, but it's subtle. But in the department of session IPAs, like, I still like it better than most session IPAs out there, because I'm not really a huge fan of session IPAs. But I will say, like, if you're compared to other like session like IPA compatriots, I mean, I find something to be a little bit sweeter, maltier would be quite a bit better. Like, as such, like, I really like it as a session IPA, but I still find that it's not super sessionable because of that little bit of rough, that greenness to it. If that really makes sense at all.
No.
It's a little on the green side, and I do appreciate it's hazy. But yeah, like, as far as flavors go, like, it's there isn't really much to say about it. It's like just like a little bit of passion fruit, and it's kind of plain, but I do like it. That said, the reason why I'm saying I'm going to do this is because I think I'm actually going to give it the highest rating of the night. For a session IPA, I'm going to give it an 8. I mean, it loses some marks because it's not super sessionable, but as far as session IPAs go, it's got a whole lot more going for it, for me, than most of them do. Like, I would take this over a Muskoka Detour any day. As far as overall enjoyment, I'm right in the same ballpark with everybody else, so it's like 7.5. So I guess for me, it's like I'm actually gonna bring the ratings up here. Weird. Anyway, so moving right along, I think we'll let Radlar read more of the comments that are there, and I'll.
Alrighty. We were radar looked. Have you tried the Dragon's Milk Stout 7 ABV from Night Abyss 2017? Said that.
I have tried that. It was a while ago, and I don't think I was a huge fan of that one.
I don't think I've had it.
Dragon's Milk is great because it's always available, but did he say it's 7%? Because I think Dragon's Milk is like 11%. Maybe it's a different beer we're talking about. I don't know.
I know they make a few different variants of Dragon's Milk, so maybe there's barrel-aged version that you had or something.
And then Lee Russell said, I'd rather hear bullshit than talk about hazy nonsense, blather away. And then Ewart said, oh, Lee. Ewart said, I can't wait until Nick reads his notes. Ewart says, here we go.
Actually, you're writing your notes this time, Ewart. I just blathered about bullshit.
And then Ewart said, Maxwell Darwin beer reviews.
Just fuck off. I'm not giving it a 93 garbage. No 93 garbage.
And that's it.
Nick totally nails beer reviews.
All right, so let's go to the scores, and then fuck you, Ewart.
Wow, 7-5 right there.
Yeah, basically that's how it evened out. It was actually like overall score was like 7.47, so I rounded it up.
Wow, Nick, way to cheat the system.
Well, blame radar. Anyway, that's what you get from a third-rate YouTube backwater beer tube channel.
You are number one when it comes to beer tube reviews. You're right there with you're right there in High Tide and Vibe.
High Tide and Vibrator.
And the Pervnaput beer tube channel as well.
And
nice.
Ranking in Canada.
Also, that Motorcycle is a good beer reviewer too.
All right, so we haven't had the magic question.
Nope, no one's asked anything.
If only we knew what.
Let's go back to talking about chicken sandwiches and making everybody hungry until somebody asks the magic question. Wendy's chicken sandwich. Well, I like it, but it's not as good.
Chicken sandwich is okay. It's fine.
Perfectly fine.
I like their spicy one. They're about Wendy's spicy chicken.
Sometimes the spicy ones are a little better.
Yeah, but I don't think I've ever had a not spicy chicken sandwich.
Well, don't forget about the McChicken. It's the best sandwich.
I've had the regular
that's
one.
awesome.
It's not good.
Especially with the ghost pepper sauce.
You know what? I never had the ghost pepper McChicken.
It's not
I
that
had
hot.
McChicken
I
is
had
just
the
it's such a
Szechuan one, and it wasn't really crazy for it. The habanero McChicken.
It's a
I
very
like
boring.
that.
it's a very boring
But
sandwich. That's the thing.
It's
It-
the fact.
it's
the fact
it's such
that
a processed
McChicken
chicken
is
thing.
the McChicken is such a cookie cutter. It's the fucking quarter pounder of chicken sandwiches. It's just like.
Okay, in
Like
recent
it's
memory,
the worst sandwich that they've got, pretty much. They're like, but I still get it every once in a while because I want a chicken sandwich and I'm at McDonald's. But I wish they had something better. They did have something better when they had those fucking crispy chickens. Remember those things? Those were actually pretty decent.
I think they still have some stuff like that, but they don't like they used to just have you get the McChicken or you could get the crispy chicken sandwich, which was the same thing. It was a McChicken with just a way better quality piece of chicken inside of it, and I love that thing. Chickens are rats with wings. I thought that was seagulls.
lesbian seagull.
And then beer and a bozo. I can't argue with that. Benches balls or balls falls. That's a pretty good session IPA they make.
That's a left Bruin
That
in
one.
your picture too. I remember that one. That was actually pretty decent left. Leffe.
As if you can tell that. That's funny.
Well, I know it's the Bruin because like it's Leffe, obviously. And
I've never had a beer that looks like that. So maybe if I had the beer, then I'd recognize it too.
Yeah, well, I'll check your beer tube channel, see you have actually had it. You might have ignored it because you don't like Belgian beers.
I feel like I still remember it.
we should do more Belgian beers on the channel. Either Jerry will hate them or he'll come around with them.
Well, Carrie, as long as Carrie still drinks them, I think that's the key thing.
I have no problem trying them. If
That's right.
it's a beer I haven't tried, I'll try it. Like with any food that I have not tried, as long as it's not like roasted baby human, I'll try it.
I would try roast.
What, you don't like baby back ribs?
If those are made from human, is that what you're saying? My God.
If there was a
My God,
place-
Chili's, what have you done?
If I could legally try human meat and it was cooked properly that wouldn't cause me any harm, I would have no problem trying it.
That's just I don't know. Like if I was in like the alive situation where it's like, eat this dead person or die, I'd probably do it
Listen,
because the
the other
humans
thing
will
is,
do
I
weird
mean,
things.
You just imagine a baby, how delicious it would be. Those babies, they're so plump. You put two buns.
There's a scene in Stephen King's The Dark Tower series, and I want to say the second to last book, where there is like this dining room, and they are eating a baby, and it's disturbing.
I'm just gonna say, if you're gonna eat a human, I imagine either a baby or maybe radar would be delicious.
Look at the beer and a bozo. I see lots of fat folks that think they're well marbled. You're probably not wrong.
See, the problem is that like Nick actually exercises a lot, so I imagine Nick would actually be pretty stringy. Radar, I'm not sure about. Then again, Carrie.
I don't know. I still got a lot of fat.
Carrie,
I'd probably only be good in like stew or something.
I probably he got a lot of gristle.
I can't stand it.
I just think Radar
Bristlebeard.
would be perfect. You put him on a spit. You put an apple in his mouth. Get him a little bit. Oh man, that would be delicious. I'll take a little bit of rum, please.
Well, you're talking about like probably Radar is the tastiest one of us when it comes to barbecue.
I would think so. I would think Radar's pretty tasty.
I don't know. I'm mostly fat. I think
I mean, I imagine Guy would be good too. He eats a lot of poutine.
It's all the gravy.
Hey,
The guy bleeds gravy. You cut
maybe
him
just
open
these
and-
French people would be delicious. I don't know. I mean, you were a fat fuck
It's
too.
like
so
it's
I
like the
wouldn't
French
mind
people.
cooking you
It's like foie gras or something like that.
People like Mexicans with all the nice spicy food they eat. That could marinate them pretty good. Come on,
Anyway.
let's see how stereotypical and racist we can make this.
Oh, we can make it really racist.
Okay. Like, should I just? Radar is Wagyu.
Nice.
Should I even mention grape drink?
Oh, that's
radar is Wagyu. I don't know what Wagyu is.
Yeah, Wagyu
What?
beef. Look at Wagyu
Yeah.
beef. It's like heavily marbled Japanese beef. It's like super.
Oh,
premium and
okay,
expensive.
yeah.
It's like one level down from Kobe.
And then Ewart said foie gras, Nick.
Small penis patrol going by.
Fucking rube.
Never
right.
had foie gras. No desire to have foie
Foie
gras.
gras. Well, yeah, no, it's really kind of unethical how they make foie gras. It's like
No, I want to eat full. I
taking
want to
geese.
eat.
There's
Boy.
a duck, or I think it's geese or something like that.
Yeah, and they force
they
Yeah,
feed
they
them.
force
force feed
feed
them
it.
until they basically die. Like, hey, fuck that
Basically,
shit. Like,
yeah, they force feed just to give it a fatty
listen,
liver.
I'm not saying meat practices in general are that ethical. Like, there's a lot of problems with factory farming, but at least they more or less try to kill the cow relatively quickly. Like, whereas like this is just like you fucking torture the animal. Like,
Oh yeah, you're
you.
force feeding the fucking duck or goose or whatever it is until it fucking dies. So it's like
Yeah, they literally have machines.
They literally take a tube and go like down the thing's throat and shove grain in. It's fucking mean. Like
It's horrible.
Like, oh.
Horrible.
All right.
Yeah, so I mean,
You know what?
yeah, I definitely won't eat that shit. Not interested. It's like shark fin
Anyway,
soup.
I'm just gonna do
Fuck
some
that
fucking like we're just gonna do a BYOB edition of BA 101 next week because
shit. BYOB,
you fucking
vegetarian.
ask the question.
Nobody
You
asked the question.
Nobody fucking asked it, so I just like fuck it. We're just doing fruit beers.
Yeah, fruit beers.
Oh, look at you with your free beer.
Strawberry.
Ooh.
Somebody who said shaker that I've had for a while. I'm not going to do this one. I'm just using it to demonstrate that I'm going to do. We're doing fruit beers next week. Hey, look, Dan, just in time.
So,
Thanks, Dan.
so that's what
Save the
we're
day.
doing. Who said
I'm
shaker?
just like fuck it. No, we're doing fruit beers.
Oh, any fruit beer?
Any fruit beer.
Strawberry.
BYOFB.
Yeah.
Beer Bosa says, anyone aware of any beer festivals that are happening?
Supposedly the Roundhouse Beer Festival is going to happen in Toronto. I've heard, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm still not even thinking about going to any kind of thing like that until probably next year.
Yeah, there's supposed to be a beer fest going on next month in my town on the west side of the city. That I'm just like, oh man, I want to go, but I don't. You know, like
look at what's happening in the States right now, man. It's not good. So yeah.
Calgary Beer Fest is
Yeah,
supposed to happen in September.
They definitely opened a little bit quickly in the States.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. Get your shot. All right, I think it's high time that we headed out for the night. At least tonight it was a little bit more streamlined than usual. Of course, we had only 4 people, so that's why we're finishing in under 15 minutes, 42 minutes. I want to thank everybody who's in the chat. Beer Nabozo, Western Canadian Beer Reviewer, Night Abyss 2017, Lee Russell, and Teku Murray.
Fuck Teku Murray.
If I missed anybody, I'm sorry.
He'd be good on our rotation.
So thanks, guys. Greg, Radar, and Redbeard, of course, for having in. And we'll be here next week for Bring Your Own Fruit Beer.
Nick, you nailed that outro.
Just like I nailed the tire on my penis. If anybody wants to see the tire, just one last thing before we sign off. But check this out.
That?
Like I put the fucking nail right through the tire tonight.
How? Seriously, like?
Yeah, that all of a sudden Greg.
Totally wasn't me who caused it, Nick. I'm sorry.
Fuck you, Greg.